Galatians 5 chapter. What we're talking about is the works of the flesh and the fruit of the spirit. What I gotta start giving y'all is a template so you can know the difference between the two. When the Bible talks about the works of the flesh, it's talking about if you led by your flesh, the impulses that we naturally have, then you'll get the fruit of being led by your flesh, which is you'll get what you put out there. You'll get what you plant. The reason why the Bible uses trees and fruit as like a illustration or example is because, like, if you take an apple tree and you plant an apple, you have an apple tree, you take a seed out of an apple tree and plant a seed of an apple, what's gonna grow? An apple tree. Is an orange gonna grow? Is a pear gonna grow? And that's why I use that illustration. But at the beginning of this, you can't pick what is it? You can't pick.
Is it like you reap what you sow?
It's kind of like you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
But this is pretty much trying to show you how you know the difference between a person that's coming to you. You know, nowadays you can't tell the difference between a godly person and an ungodly person. You see good people who do good things and people just automatically think they're godly, but just because you good does not mean you godly. They two separate things. It's being good by the world standard and being good by God's standards. Being good by God's standards would be godly. Being good by the world standards would be just good by the world standards, but that's not, you're not going to heaven. You're not believing, you're not in God, you still going to hell. A lot of people don't understand that concept. And that's why the Bible tells you the fruit of the flesh and the fruit of the spirit, but it actually says the works of the flesh and the fruit of the spirit. Did you get that scripture? You got it?
Yeah.
All right, read it to me, the first one, the one for the works of the flesh. Shush, be quiet.
It says,
Talk up.
Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness,
Lasciviousness.
Adultery, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, or envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. That's what 21.
Okay, and it just told you all of those are the traits of a person who is led by their flesh. That's how you can tell when people be like, well, you know, I can't really tell if that person godly. The reason why a person can't tell is because you ain't really studied the word. Because if you study the Bible, then you will know the difference. You know, some people may get some things mixed up. Some things are harder to understand in the Bible now. But it's some things that we just automatically know as God-following people, that all God-following people should know. Like the first thing, to get into heaven, to get saved, you must believe that Jesus died and rose by his Father on the third day. That's the way you believe. You have to believe in him. And to believe in him, that means you got to believe in his what? His word. God wrote this whole book. It encompasses the past, the present, and the future. Don't no other book on the planet do that. And a lot of people argue with you like, well, how you know that's right? The reason why I know because I've read it. Have you? That's all you got to do. Ask a person, have they read the Bible from front to back? Knowing that what's in here is the truth. Proving it. And you always get no. A lot of people hadn't read it. And the ones that have read it, they read it. That's why the Bible tells you that God has to be worshipped in the spirit. You got to understand things the way God gives you. And God is a spirit being. So you got to understand, like, the way things mean, the way he's saying it. Like, for instance, people go, okay, I'm going to give you an example. The Bible says, thou shalt not kill. A lot of people see killing as just ending a person's life. In the Bible, the biblical definition of killing is not ending a person's life. Because that could be a punishment. That ain't killing. Killing is shedding innocent blood. And innocent blood to God is a godly person. Killing a godly person, that's murder. That's killing. And I'm gonna give you an example. The good thing about the Bible is you have the commandment and then you have the examples. The Bible, if the Bible telling you something, you gonna have an example of it happening the way it's supposed to happen in the Bible. And if it's happening the wrong way, that's still an example. Because you can learn from the wrong way and the right way. But the example in the Bible of killing is when Cain killed Abel. Cain killed Abel. Abel wasn't good. God loved Abel. Cain killed him. Cain slew him. Rose up and slew him. That's the definition of killing. Because to God, and if it's to God, it's to everybody, Abel was an innocent person. He was innocent. Cain was mad at Abel because God favored Abel, because Abel gave God the choice of his offering. He gave him the choice of his, he was a herder. He gave him the choice. Choice means the best. If you look at what Abel gave him, Abel didn't give him the best. I mean, Cain didn't give him the best. Cain just gave him some of, but it wasn't his best. If you love God, you're going to give God your best. You're going to give God your first. You're going to give God your all before you give anybody else theirs. God will get his first. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. The way the world is today, people want all of the benefits of being godly, but they don't want to do none of the hard work. They don't want to do none of what God say, but they want all his protection. They don't want to do none of what God say, but when something bad happens, they want to blame him. How can you blame somebody that you not? If I told you, 18, don't go out there in that street because you're going to get hit by a truck, and you go out there in that street, you get hit by a truck, and you mad at me for getting hit by that truck. Do that make sense? Because I told you what not to do and you did anyway. Who should you be mad at? But that's not how people are today. And if y'all think about it, a lot of times when y'all disobey or act up, that's what y'all doing. Y'all mad at me for coming down on you for me telling you something, and you getting the consequences of your actions. You still be mad at me instead of directing that anger towards where it should go, to yourself. That's how you grow and learn. But that's the part of that's the fruits of a person that ain't right. That's the Bible. That's why I'm taking you through what is it? What is it? The works of a person. Is it the works of a person that ain't right, or the works of the flesh? And now I'm gonna take you through the fruit of the Spirit. When you come to God and you living in the Spirit, then these are the traits that a person that's of God have. Go to the second part and read it.
It's on 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
So think about it. God got laws for us to be a certain type of way. But if you already that way, do the law pertain to you? Because you're not going to break it because it's in you, ain't it? And that's what the second promise was, that God was going to put, like back in the day, God said he wrote the commandments on a tablet, on a stone tablet. He said the new covenant, since they kept breaking it, was he going to put the laws in our hearts. But people like tell you that the laws are done away with. No, all the laws ain't done away with. God tell you specifically in the New Testament which ones that are no longer to be done, which is he sacrificed. God was the ultimate sacrifice. So now we don't have to sacrifice animals anymore. But the other laws and commandments and statutes that God put in place, we are still supposed to be adhering to some of those. Because he said those will go forever, like observing the different feasts. He said they'll go forever. We're supposed to continue doing that. We're supposed to still be doing those things. Because those are to show God that we honor what he tell us to do. But they'll have you believe that all of them done away with. If that was the truth, then the 10 Commandments would be done away with. No. That's why he said, when you become of God and the Spirit get in you, then would it be a need for you to have them written down when they're already in your heart? When you when you get in God for real, it wouldn't even be like a law. It's sort of like, think about it, you have a law on the street. It's say you have a speed limit. If you already drive the speed limit anyway, you just don't want to break the speed limit, it's just normal for you to obey the law, would the speed limit, would it be anything to you? Because you already do it naturally, don't it? That's what that means. That don't mean there's no law. That just means since it's inside you,